Back here at Perry County High School, halftime of the Mustang action. Got about 7:15 to go. Mustangs currently up 40-20. We've got Lady Mustang head coach Ashley Rutledge joining us tonight. So coming off a tough, hard-fought game tonight. Come up a little short to Perry County. Perry County returned a lot of players from last year's team. We knew it was going to be tough. Kind of walk us through the game tonight here against Perry County.
Well, we knew that they're good shooters. They're a little more experienced. They've got a lot of kids coming back from last year, and anybody they put on the floor can score at any time. So our goal was really to slow down the three, and we did a really good job. I think they may have hit 1 3. I'm not sure on that, but we did hit that goal as far as slow them down on the three, and it's at their house. And I don't complain about officiating. I thought there were a few calls towards the end that really hurt us and kind of broke us down. That if they were called a different way, they could have pushed our momentum. But I thought overall the girls did a good job. It was one step forward. We didn't get the win. If we do a few more things, we do get the win. But it's so early in the season. I like our progress of where we're going.
Absolutely. We had a hard time against Giles County and their press, and ever since then it seems like every game, every week we've handled the pressure even more. The girls are stepping up, handling the ball, and then doing more with it when they get it. And tonight it was almost like we played at our pace and we made them play the way we wanted to play, and that's kind of been the story so far. How important is it that you think to kind of force your will on the other team?
Well, we try to find out what a team's really good at, and then we try to make them do something else. That's kind of our game plan. With Lawrence County, we said, hey, they're going to have to kill us in threes. We're not going to let them shoot twos. This game, we said, hey, we're going to make them score on the inside. We're going to hold them off on the outside. The girls did a great job defensively. If you look back at this team, they've been averaging 50, 60 points a game. We held them to 39. So is that part we felt pretty good about. It was our offense that we're going to have to do a better job of converting those transitional. You talked about the press. We break the press. We got to score. We did a poor job of that tonight.
Loss tonight put us 1-1 in the district, and as you said, it's early on, and the 2 district games we've had have been on the road. We haven't had any at home, but we have one this Friday against Collinwood. From what you've been able to see so far, kind of walk us through Collinwood and what to expect maybe Friday night.
I know, I'm going to be honest, I've watched so much Perry County tape that tonight's going to be the night I watch Collinwood. But from what I've gathered so far, a little bit, I try to gather just a little bit and not focus on it until it's absolutely time. But from what I gather, I know they've always got a good crew. They're scrappy. They've got, a couple standout guards. One got hurt against Perry County, and I'm not sure it's the point guard. We're not sure if she's going to be out or she's going to be playing. So I'm kind of anxious to see if we need to prepare for her or not. But,
right.
I tell our girls all the time, if we focus on the things that we should do, we should be able to go out there with any team and just really focus on what we do, and we should be able to get the wins. But, again, we're such a young team. There's a lot of growing pains. We took a stride forward. We didn't get the win, but we improved in a lot of areas. Absolutely.
Of course, first time tonight and since Mars Hill, we've had Sabry back on the floor. Sabry suffering from a little bit of concussion that she suffered late in the game.
Right.
Kind of walks through how hard was it for her maybe to kind of get back into the flow. I know you try to get it to her early just to kind of get that comfortability being back out.
Right.
Kind of give us the update with her and how she's been.
She's been doing great. The past 2 days in practice, I'm going to tell you, it's like she hadn't missed a beat. Now, she'll tell you, she says, Coach, I'm out of shape. And I said, hey, that's okay. We'll get you back in shape. But tonight, she did a lot of good things. She played phenomenal defense. She's guarding one of the best players. She pulled down some big boards. She missed some easy baskets. But with this, coming back, I think she played a little fragile. She was afraid she might get hit in the head. And I think, any of us coming back from concussion will be a little worried about that. But, I think she'll make the step forward on Friday night. I think this was kind of getting her feet wet. But defensively, rebounds, just being a leader, she did a lot of good things. She only had 2 points, but I think she'll do a better job of that on Friday.
That's something else that the team has improved on that we've noticed up here is defensive rebounding. Early on we kind of gave up some offensive rebounds, but
right.
The girls have really buckled down on that end of the floor, limited teams, second chances, and they're making them pay down the other end. So it is almost like, as you say, it's early on. Everybody's kind of coming together. They're learning the new system, and as a player and a coach, you've had to adjust to new systems. Is it harder for a player to adjust to a new system or a coach adjusting to new athletes?
I don't know. Both have their challenges. I don't know. The girls have done a really good job of adjusting. I'm going to give them that. They're young, and some of the younger ones, of course, they didn't know the old system. So, they're kind of starting with a fresh mind. The older kids, they're giving me what I want. And there's a lot of things we would have liked to have this win. But we know coming on the road at Perry County, they're 6-1. They're averaging 50 to 60 points. They were 70% from the three-point line, I think, the last game. We knew this was going to be tough. So if you tell me we lose by 6, I'm going to say, hey, I would have liked the win, but proud of the effort, proud of the strides we're making, and I hope on Friday we continue to make another stride forward. Absolutely,
and late, right there about midway through the fourth, we were still up 1.
Oh, yeah.
And as you said, call goes your way a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
And we kind of got some, I'll call them cheap hand checks right there late.
Yeah.
And you put a good team on the foul line, and the good team's going to do what they're supposed to do, and that's make free throws, and that was essentially the difference late. So
yeah, the hand checks, I will say. I mean, I'm not going to complain because you got to prepare for refs that call it certain ways, but if we don't get a few of those hand checks, you never know. It might, we might stop them, we might come down, score a bucket, it might be a different outcome,
Absolutely. So hopefully for a different outcome on Friday night, as Coach Rutledge will head to the film room tonight, late night for her, and, and the Lady Mustangs back out on the floor tomorrow, getting set for Friday night action at home, first home district game. We want everybody to come out and support these ladies as they continue to improve and make their way towards that goal of this season. So, Coach, we want to thank you for spending some time with us at halftime, and want to say congratulations for finishing the 5K last weekend over at Memphis. St. Jude 5K for a great cause, benefiting, I know, many of you ran for Emily Marks, Loretta student, as she continues her fights against cancer, and we want to thank you for that and wish Emily nothing but the best.
Shout out to Emily. You're awesome. Keep going, girl.
So we got about 40 seconds here. The guys, before halftime, they're going to make their way to the benches, and we're going to take a little timeout and be back here for second half action here on MustangsTV.com. Here after the game, after a 80-47 victory by the Mustangs over Perry County, got Mustangs head coach Micah Rochester. Micah, at times, started maybe a little bit slow right there, but called a timeout, I noticed, right there in the first half. Got the guys together, and really, it was a stern timeout, but it's probably needed right there. Maybe playing a little sloppy, and after that, the guys really came out, played with some focus and intensity right there, and pretty much from that point on, Mustangs was pretty much in control of that game.
Yeah, I think if I remember right, we came out and jumped up 7-0, and then kind of got latched and didn't do some of the things we wanted to do with the basketball. Made some silly mistakes, and our biggest focus is just taking care of the basketball and playing hard on defense each trip. And I didn't feel like we were doing that. And then after we called the timeout, I thought we picked up our defense, and then I think that helps our offense. Ben Farrington made 2 or 3 really good dishes to Logan and Adam, and then Miles and Lane shot extremely well tonight. It was one of those nights, everything they shot, it looked like they was going in. There was once I was even trying to back them up and get them in something, and Lane hits one right in my face at about 23 feet and just kind of turns and smiles. And Lane is that type of player when he's hot. If he's in the gym, he's open. So I was really proud of our guys, even in the second half. When you get a big lead like that, we did that over here last year, and then just kind of tried to cruise on out. And I didn't think we did that tonight. So really, really proud of the way the guys played.
Talk about Miles and Lane and how well they shot it. But, as you mentioned earlier on in the season, at times you're going to play 10, 11 guys, and every guy, once he steps on the floor, gives nothing but 100%. But they always look to dish and pass and set each other up. And pretty much you got to be impressed, even though you got some hot shooters. But when you got great passing, they got some easy looks down low. How pleased are you with the effort that everybody's putting forth when they see their time out there?
Oh, man, I was talking with Coach Cruz from Collinwood tonight, or on the way over, or before the game tonight, and just I say all the time to all the coaches and anybody that listens how much I love coaching my team. We got 12 guys that all play hard. They're all skilled, and it would be easy probably at times for them to be selfish, but I don't feel like we've got a kid that's selfish at all. And that's not, a lot of people when they think, well, he's selfish, that means he wants to shoot all the time, and people don't realize, now being selfish is when you don't want to rotate on defense, or like you said, make that extra pass or pout when you come out of the game. And one of the things we've really been trying to stress is that we do have a lot of depth, so go as hard as you can. Wear yourself out, because we do do have guys that can come and get you for and allow you to get a breather. We're not going to keep Lane and Miles and Ben and Logan and Adam and those guys on the bench very long. But when we do come get you, we've got somebody that can play. And so, I mean, these kids are a lot of fun to coach. I thought a big difference tonight was Adam. Adam is really skilled. A lot of people just think he's big, but he's not. He's got good feet, good hands, and can do a lot of really good things. And so Adam's biggest thing is coming ready to play every night. And he was able to get a couple of early baskets, like you said, because of Ben making some beautiful passes to him. And I think that just got him in a rhythm. And once he gets going, it makes it really hard to guard us, I think.
2 district wins, balanced scoring pretty much in both games. This Friday night, we'll have our first home district game against Collinwood. I don't know how much film. I know Coach Rutledge said she hasn't got to spend too much time on Collinwood. What can you lead us in now with Collinwood, who last year, of course, just stout all the way around, but graduated 6 seniors?
I've been fortunate to have got to see them a time or two and got a little film on them. They're a lot better than a lot of people thought because they did graduate 6 seniors. But those kids are 23-1 over the last 2 years in our district. They're used to winning. They expect to win. Coach Cruz does a phenomenal job of getting his kids to play hard and figuring out what system fits them best. And so, they lost 6 seniors, but they're 6 or 7-1, putting up a lot of points. And so they're a really good basketball team. And so I'm going to go ahead and start the media thing now. We need as many people in black and gold at the barn Friday night. I was talking, everybody all the time talking about wanting to beat Lawrenceburg, but our seniors have never beat Collinwood. They beat us in the district championship last year, beat us in the semifinals their junior year, and then put us out of the district tournament their freshman and sophomore year. So it's a huge night for us. I thought mentally being able to beat Lawrenceburg was a huge step in the right direction, and so hopefully we can come out and play well Friday and get out of the barn with a W.
Absolutely. 2-0 in the district. Move on to Friday night. Collinwood Mustangs come away 80-47 victors here from Perry County. Coach, we want to thank you for your time and look forward to seeing you on Friday night.
Hey, man, appreciate you guys.